This video is about an hour long and it's designed to help you to get something done at home while you listen. It's also something that will help you to feel great about yourself and to enjoy the journey. That's the theme of this particular video. We've got to do the work anyway. We might as well enjoy the journey. Now, here's the thing. This is actually a recording of a live meeting that I do with my inner circle people, and I'm inviting you to be a part of it. So if you'd like to be a part of it and you want more connection to me, then just go down into the description box, or if it's here on my website, somewhere on the page, and click the link and you could get started, okay? You could at least just find out more. I promise you, no matter how long you've been in the mess or how old you are, this will work for you. And there's no better way to do it than not alone. Okay, I really look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for being here. I'll look at the chat in a little bit. I just want to get us started on our Pomodoro session so that you guys can do stuff while we're chilling, okay? All right, so the theme for this entire year is enjoy the journey, a fresh start with purpose and momentum, and we're going to talk about it, okay? A bad thing that I did was I did not spell check. Anyway, let's just hope it's all right. But before we move on with this theme and what we're going to talk about, I want you to get moving on whatever it is that you can do right now, okay? We're doing the Pomodoro method. It's a method that helps many people who get distracted easily, who we are, to increase their productivity, to conquer, I know I spelled conquer wrong, that can't be right, procrastination. So I want you to set an intention, okay? What are you going to do when we're together right now? We've got an hour together, okay? So I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes. And I want you to decide what you're going to do for this 30 minutes and put it in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, then you can get right into our community and just put in there, watching the replay, setting an intention, ready, set, go, put it in there and bada boom, okay? Then we're going to take a 5-minute break and then we'll go back with another 25 minutes. When we do the 5-minute break, you don't have to do the 5-minute break, but you can if you want to, all right? At least you know that you're going to be working for 30 minutes straight, and if anything comes in your mind that says, I don't want to do this anymore, or I'm going to do something else, some kind of procrastination idea, then you can say, no, I'm doing this for 30 minutes. Kathy's got the timer set. She's going to tell me when it's up. All right, ready, set, go. Okay, so back to the title screen, which is Enjoy the Journey, a fresh start with purpose and momentum. And so we're going to break down some of these things. Fresh start, purpose, and momentum. And of course, enjoy the journey. This is our theme for the year. Like I said, enjoy the journey, a fresh start with purpose and momentum. And I'm just going to go over a little bit of these things, okay? Enjoy the journey. Enjoying the journey allows us to let go of perfectionism and unnecessary pressure. The unnecessary pressure thing comes in beautifully with the fresh start, because every day, every single day, I want you to say, this is a new day. Every day. It's a beautiful thing. Not only did Ralph Waldo Emerson have a fabulous quote about that, but God does too. Fresh start. It's a wonderful thing that we can do. We don't have to hold on to what wasn't right yesterday, what we didn't do last year, what we've been doing forever. Let it go. Have you ever heard of the saying, like, you got a lot of baggage? You know what that means? It means that they're figuratively and literally dragging and holding on to stuff from the past, stuff in their life, stuff that's happened. And the reason I could say literally is because spiritually, that's what's going on. There's a verse in the Bible that says, He heals our wounded spirit. He heals our wounded spirit. So what does that mean? Can you see a wounded spirit? No, you can't, because you can't see spirit. But does a wounded spirit have something attached to it? Is there a manifestation of that wound in the natural? Yeah, there is. When we heal something, we don't have that pain anymore. Most of you know that I was in a car accident many years ago. And gosh, I think we're going on 35 years now. And I had a severe injury, severe. My jaw was broken in 3 different places. My left femur was broken to the point where I had to get surgery with a bar put in it. My hip was crushed. The ball joint was crushed like an egg. My right foot was crushed in a way that was so bad that it's still deformed. If you look at it, it's kind of deformed. The heel was crushed like an egg. My pelvis was broken in several different places, and my shoulder was also broken. And so here's the reason I'm saying all of that is because I don't have that pain anymore. At a certain point, I was in traction. My right leg was up in traction, and my left leg had a cast on it. And if you just put a sheet at the end of my foot where the cast was at the bottom, like my toes were out. If you just put a sheet on that, it was excruciating. Excruciating. Do I have that pain anymore? No, because I was healed. When you're healed from something, the pain is gone. Do I still have the memories of it? Yeah, of course. I still have the memories of it. Do I still feel that pain? Nope. Why? Because I was healed. So it says in the Bible that he heals our wounded spirit. When we have that baggage that we are taking along with us everywhere, we don't walk into a room alone. We walk into a room with all of that stuff. We can let it go. We can be healed to the point where that baggage we aren't holding on to it anymore. And the beautiful thing is that with the healing, all of that pain that has been encouraging us to hold on to that baggage is gone. That it's easily let go of when the pain is gone. When you're hurt by somebody and the pain is gone, it's easy to let go of whatever that baggage is. So that's with the fresh start and enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey allows us to let go of perfectionism and unnecessary pressure. We can't enjoy the journey of getting out of the mess when we're constantly putting ourselves down. It is our MO, isn't it? Where we are just so negative about ourselves. And it's something that we've trained ourselves to be. And if we've trained ourselves to be something, we can train ourselves not to be it. Now, does it mean that it comes effortlessly and easily? No, it comes with time. It's with practice. So what else are we doing? Letting our hair grow? Allow the practice every day. It helps to reduce stress, and it helps us to embrace the process. Look, this is a process. If you're in a mess, if you are who I am, right-brained, scattered by nature, our nature is we're very feeling people. The organizationally gifted people in the world, they don't have to feel good to do what it is that needs to be done. They just do it. Whereas for us, if it doesn't feel good, if we're having some emotional issue, if something's happening in our lives, then if something has happened generally at all, then we feel like, I can't do this. You know what just happened to me? When we realize that doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. There is a process that we have to follow. And when we do it, and we know that we don't have to allow our emotions and our feelings to take over where we don't do what it is that we want to do, where we can say, you know what, I'm going to enjoy this journey, the stuff that I have everywhere, who I happen to be, which is I'm still that person. I still am that person from 30 freaking how many years ago? My son is, I don't know, 1989 is when I got started. I was pregnant with my son in 1989. And that's when I got started. All these years later, my habits are very different, but I am the same person. And based on certain circumstances, I can be just like everyone else, thrown into a whirlwind of overwhelm, and I've got to do something. The beautiful part is that
with this system that we have, we know what to do. So when those feelings come, that's why this is a perfect theme for us, I think forever. But what we're doing is for this year. Because when we feel like we can't, when it feels like I'm overwhelmed and I don't know what to do, and I feel like I don't know what to do, because that's where the overwhelm comes from, really, then we just click it in and we say, wait a minute, I've got a plan. There is a process. I choose to enjoy the journey and do what it is I need to do. Set yourself back up. If you're brand new, just set yourself up, get started. That's it. It's easy to get started. If you're not brand new and you find yourself falling off or just needing more encouragement or life threw you a curve, then you just say, okay, I have to set myself back up. Because one of the things with the difference between organizationally gifted people and organizationally challenged people is the organizationally gifted people, they don't look within, they look without. They say, well, something isn't right. I need to adjust my routine. And they have to see, what is it that isn't right? And they'll be like, oh, so and so, my grown son just moved back in, or oh, I just retired. Yeah, damn, life is different now. Or I was in, of course, something isn't quite right. I was in an accident. I have to blah 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 in Jesus' name. No accidents. Whatever it is that throws life a curve to every single person in the world, whatever it is, the organizationally gifted people, they tend to say, all right, something isn't quite right. Let me see what's going on in my life and adjust my schedule. The organizationally challenged person says, here I go again. Oh no, what am I going to do? This is ridiculous. You see, it's totally messed up because nothing's wrong with you. This is normal for everybody. So all we have to do is embrace the process. We could do that by enjoying the journey, because with the plan that we have to put in place, we can say, oh, yep, that bugs me. Oh, yep, that bugs me. Because the whole thing I was saying before about we're very feeling people. If the place is a mess, we tend to make it be as part of our identity. It's like, well, this is who I am. So of course it feels like we're walking through molasses with water in our wading boots. But it doesn't have to be that way. It takes an adjustment. That's what it does. It just takes an adjustment. Most of the things that we do is going to be just putting a new perspective on something. And then a big part of that, most of the thing that we do, is knowing what we need to do. I tell this story quite often about me going to Al-Anon. Before I went to Al-Anon, Al-Anon is a group for people who have been affected by somebody with an addict, somebody with in general, it's really with alcoholism, but really it's anybody that's been affected with anybody in your life with an addict where you were part of their life. There's a program that is there to help people because we have become sicker than them because of how we've had to juggle life to make it work. But we aren't aware of that because this is just this is what we're doing. This is how we go. And so I was married to an alcoholic and I was in that relationship for 26 years. And then I found Al-Anon. And when I walked into that room, I was like, this was here the whole time. It's a good possibility that we may never have gotten divorced, or it's a good possibility that the divorce would have happened not 26 years down the road. Who knows? But what I do know is that what I learned in that group was like the missing piece to how do I live life now? If we don't know, if we don't have the answers to something, we can't achieve what it is that we need. And the thing with Tidy Tutor University, with the class, Tidy Tutor Masterclass, the thing about that is it's how. It is our how. All we have to do is know, what do I have to do How do I have to do it? What are the things that I have to put in place? And then implement it, and bada boom, all of the wheel spinning that we've been doing for how many years ends. It ends. Okay, so let's see what else. Enjoy the journey, more likely to stay motivated during tough times. If you've decided, you know what, I'm going to enjoy this journey. I'm doing it anyway. I'm going through this mess, this chaos, this whatever. Anyway, I might as well enjoy myself in the process, make plans, go somewhere. How many times have you said, all right, I know I really do want to go to church today, but I can't. This place, I just got to get it under control. How many times have you had a thing that you wanted to do, a movie you wanted to go see, a friend that would call you, and you would just decline because of the mess? You don't have to do that, because with the plan in place, that thing, that perspective I was talking about, we could say, oh, wait a minute, I can do that. I have a plan for that stuff that's making me nuts. I have a plan for that. I'm going to go to this, whatever it is. Now, of course, we have the say no habit, which is, we're going to be wise, because one of the things that is great about us, and also not so great about us, is we're so optimistic, and we really we're so spontaneous. We like to do stuff. So we say yes to everything. So, there's a balance. The thing is that with the plan, we have the times that is free time, that is just for us to do. The times that we can say, okay, yes, I absolutely can. Or nope, not now, but I can do it on such and such a day. See, there's no such thing as no. There's just a such thing as when. And with that, just everything changes. Okay, so what else? We're less fixated on the outcome and more focused on the experience. Realize this, we only get one life here on earth, just one. So if we are going to be focused on the experience we're going to have, and just thinking about, okay, I have a plan. I'm going to just live my life as I do this plan. We're able to enjoy the journey. So that's less fixated on the outcome and more focused on the experience. A lot of times when we are concentrated on the outcome, we end up getting ourselves overwhelmed. Because what happens to organizationally challenged people, I know you have some organizationally gifted people in your life that you love and that are part of your life. And if they've ever come over, you've seen them do some miraculous things. Like they'll get into your kitchen, you're going to have a cup of tea with them. Got to be somebody really close that you'd allow in there. And they'll say, all right, just give me a minute. And all of a sudden the dishes are filled with the sink is filled with dishes and soapy water, and they're getting soaked in there. There's a few piles made from things that were just scattered all over the room, neatly piled in a corner. The table is cleared off and wiped down. And in a short time, you're able to sit down on a nice clean table with a cup of tea. The reason that they're able to do that is because they don't see the entire picture. We do. It isn't wrong that we do. And as a matter of fact, there's so much good in it that when we finally do kind of like crack the code in allowing yourself to be who you are, and then practicing the habits that make you better, that make that part of you that puts everything off and feels overwhelmed, it puts it in a place where it doesn't exist anymore. There's so much, and there's so much that emerges, because inside of the organizationally challenged person is so much, what's the word I'm looking for? So much excellence that makes us able to achieve. Whereas with organizationally gifted person, it's more difficult for them to do a lot of the things that are very easy for us to do. Stopping in the middle of something to do something else, it's easy for us. Stopping to do something else when they're in the middle of something, the organizationally gifted person, that throws them in a corner like a crazy person. Like, it's not easy for them to do that. And that kind of thing is necessary in the world. We need both of us. We need the organizationally gifted people in the world. We need the organizationally challenged in the world. We need to realize that we're so cool, just like we are. And what I'm hoping to do as your Tidy Tutor coach is to help you to see the journey and to enjoy it, and then to know what it is that you have to do, and to feel good about yourself in the process, and freaking live life. Because honestly, this course, that what I do, it isn't about cleaning up the house. It's about being the person that you know that you are on the inside. Because once you get the house cleaned up, so many things unfold, so many things happen. It's like miraculous. I could use that word. Because suddenly the things that you've always wanted to do, that you've never gotten to, you're doing, which has nothing to do with being organized or cleaning or having a clean home. Because there's plenty of organized and clean home people that really want to do things and just don't. You know, they want to learn the guitar, they want to learn an instrument, they want to learn a language, they want to quit their job, they want to start a business, they want to write a book, they want to lose weight, but they don't. The thing that happens, a beautiful byproduct of getting this done and following this system, is that all of a sudden, bam, things start happening that you've wanted to do forever. I went to a Pam and Peggy. I'm going to look at the time for a second. We got 10 minutes, or just about 9 minutes left in first 30. Okay. I went to a Pam Young meeting once years ago. I didn't know her yet. I just loved her and, read all of her stuff and whatnot. And she was in Boston. And I was so excited because she lives in Washington State and I'm in New Jersey. So she's on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast. And I would always say, I wish she would do something close by. So it was only like, I don't know, maybe a 3-hour train ride or something. I took a train. And so I went to this meeting. It was kind of like a lunch or something, a 3-day thing where you sat down, you ate, and she stood up there and talked. Her husband talked. It was lovely. So at the end, she asked if anybody wanted to say anything or, anything like that. And I was one person that did, but this is my point. So many people there. I think there were about 300 of us there. So many people stood up and said, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to. And then there was a long list of stuff that had nothing to do with cleaning. For me, it was, I was able to, I have a children's picture book that I had illustrated, wrote. I learned how to play the guitar. This is something I've always wanted. I remember I was 10 years old. I wanted to play the guitar. And I even got this album when I was a kid. There was a Kenny Rogers commercial, and it was the quick picking, fun strumming home guitar course. And I begged my father for that. It was an album and a booklet, and he did. He got it for me, wrote the check. I put it in the thing. I got it. Did I do it? No, I didn't. I started to, but I got so discouraged because it was hard and I wasn't good at it. Well, duh. Are we supposed to be good at something when we first get started? No. But what happened to me years later when I got my act together? I learned how to play the guitar. It was simple, actually. And I'm telling you, and I didn't know it until years later, that it was this system that allowed me to get all of the things I've ever wanted to do done. So many things. I can't think of them all right now, but so many things. So there's that. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the fresh start. Okay. A fresh start. Now, this is a wonderful way to face each day, especially for us, because our way of doing things is to just, like I said before, just bring that baggage all along with us. What didn't I do yesterday? What didn't I do? What have I been doing forever? Or maybe you get really good at something and you're doing really good. And then, you don't do so good for like a week or a day or something. And what do we do? Oh, here I go again. What is it? No, every day, make a fresh start. We're going to talk about this. There's a verse in the Bible that says his mercies are fresh every morning. So if you say to yourself, I can't do that. I can't take a fresh start every day. If God says that you could have a fresh start each day, then I think we could say we can too. Ralph Waldo Emerson said it too, and we'll go into that quote. I have a couple of quotes we'll get into soon. I can't even read what that says. I think it's supposed to say it's perfect for us, but it says it's perfect for us. All right. So it's a wonderful way for us to start each day. It's perfect for us, for the kind of person that we are. And the other thing, we put way too much pressure on ourselves, and it's our MO to judge ourselves too harshly. So we can have a fresh start each moment. If you're in the AA, they say they have a thing one day at a time. Well, it could be one moment at a time. A lot of people have it 1 minute at a time because that's what we need. That's what they need. We can do the same thing. You have to figure we're going against many years of programming. We've gone through life, however long we've gone through it. And there's been programming in our brain that isn't going to just go away without effort. So as we go through and we start again with whatever it is, we just stop ourselves and we say, oh, I don't have to do that. It's a fresh start. I have a fresh start and I choose to enjoy the journey. Okay, what else? Now there's purpose. Purpose is huge. It's huge. I thought about quite a while ago, I think it was 2022 or something like that, just before the pandemic. I thought about changing my website and my everything from the Tiny Tutor to Wonderful Happy You, which is why, WHY. When we have our why, we can do anything. When we have, how many times have you been in a situation where push was coming to shove, like you were between a rock and a hard place, and then what happens? You do it. Before that, there was insane amount of procrastination, maybe years and years of it, and then all of a sudden you have a diagnosis or a party to go to, a vacation to go to. People are coming over. When we have our why and it's like in our face, we do it. So that's wonderful, happy you. That's what that's all about, our why. And that's what purpose is. Why do you want to do this? A clear purpose provides a roadmap. Think about it. You want to go somewhere, you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get there. I don't care how much, and this is what we did for years, right? The spinning our wheels things. I don't care how much energy you put out, you're not going to get there. You get into your car, you turn it on, turn the key or push a button, and you take off. You know where you're going. You don't know how to get there. You'll use all of your gas, an insane amount of energy, and a lot of time, but you did nothing because you had no roadmap. Your purpose is your roadmap. Ensuring that we stay on track and focused. Purpose, your why, your reason will make sure that you stay on track and you'll be focused, because two things happen. One is you forget why you're doing this. You don't care that much, or you say, oh, you know what? I'm going to do this from now on. I'm going to pray every morning. And then without a plan of action and a real commitment to that thing, a week will go by and you'll remember and you'll say, oh yeah, that's right. I did want to start praying every day. Totally forgot. So that's one thing that happens if we don't have a big why, a big reason. And another thing that happens is we move ahead, and then things start to get a little bit better. Things start to get pretty good. And then what do? We slack off. Oh, it wasn't that important. It didn't matter. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was, because we lie to ourselves. We tell ourselves stories just to stop doing what it is we don't want to do anymore. It's very typical. It's not only for me and the organizationally gifted, I was gonna say me and you, the organizationally challenged person, this happens to the organizationally gifted people too. It happens to everybody, where you're going to do something, and as soon as you start to feel better or do better, you minimize what it is that was wrong in the first place, and then you slack. So if you have your purpose, your why, and you keep it front and center, then when those times come, you're not going to fall off. You're going to say, no, no, no. I have a goal. I have a vision. I know what I want, and I'm going to get there. Okay, so there is 30 minutes. I'm going to put a timer for 5 minutes. And right now, I'd like you to get a glass of water or something to drink. All right. Remember that coffee dehydrates you. So it might be liquid, but make sure you drink water. Okay. I have to get up and get some water because I'm out. All right. So I'm going to do that real fast. You got 5 minutes going on. You can either take a break or you can just keep going. But you know that you've been going for 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes. You know you've been going for 30 minutes, okay? Take a drink of water, okay? If you've been with me and you haven't been working or doing anything, then I encourage you to stand up and stretch. All right, do something physical with your body because we tend to sit around too much and it's not good for us. So that's something you can do right now, okay? All right, so let me see if I met all of the purpose bullets. For the roadmap, I'm sure it's saying track and focus, big deal for us, focus, right? Remembering what truly matters, even when obstacles arise, and they will. Without it, we risk drifting or losing sight of why we started. And then I talked about the wonderful happy you, done. Okay. Now, momentum. With momentum comes action because we can't get any momentum if we do nothing. Okay. So, like momentum is when something gets started and then it's on a roll. Now it's going. It isn't just the getting started part. It's when it's now going. It's gained momentum. And I talk about this in one of our other workshops where the locomotive, like you have a steam engine or even a train. It gets started. When it first gets started, I don't know if the modern trains do this, but older trains, it will get started. I know airplanes, right? You see an airplane going to take off. It doesn't just go from bing bang. It has to start moving. It has to start going. When in the beginning, when a train is just starting, it can stop anytime. It's easy for it to stop anytime. But as it continues and not quitting and just keeps going and is focused on, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing, and I'm going to keep going. As that happens, there comes a time when it can't stop. Not easily anyway, and definitely not on a dime. It has to slow down. It has to deliberately try and stop itself. And that's what we want. We want momentum. And with momentum, to get momentum, we have to take action. Okay, so once we gain momentum, progress becomes easier. Small actions build upon each other, creating a snowball effect. Like get a visualization, get an image in your mind of seeing it. That, it isn't going to start like a bam. It's not going to. Give yourself a break. But have the visualization that as it continues, like a snowball, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That can't not happen. It has to happen. And it will happen for you. All right, doing, that's only the action part of it. It leads to higher productivity as we naturally stay in motion, completing each task efficiently and with less mental resistance. Don't we want that? Don't we want that no mental resistance? How beautiful would that be? But does it happen on accident? No. Do you want that to happen? Absolutely you do. I know you do. So what do we have to do? We've got the formula right here. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, here's a beautiful quote. We have two from Ralph Waldo Emerson. This is about the journey. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. And I'm going to tell you this as somebody that has, all right, I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes. 25 minutes now. Okay. So if you've taken a break and you're going to move back to doing, then now's the time. If you definitely get some water, I have to drink some. Give me a second. All right, ready, set, go. And if you need to set new intention, then do that and get it in chat. Okay. All right, so I can tell you this from my experience of working with hundreds of women and a couple of men, doing this with so many people throughout the years. Every one of them wishes that they enjoyed the journey. Every one of them wishes that they embraced every moment, that as they were getting through the muck and the mire and the scrubbing and the filth, because that's what a lot of stuff is underneath it all. As they were going through the boxes and the clothes and everything that we have to go through, as they were going through it, in the moment, it felt like a dread. In hindsight, though, they wished that while they were doing it, they were enjoying it, because the sense of accomplishment and the pride in their heart that they felt looking back at what they did, they wished, why couldn't I have done that then? I wish that I could see what I was doing then is so important and so good. And so, you know what they say, hindsight is 2020. We can do it. Like if you have an experience and you come to me and I have a problem, and you say, oh, look, all you have to do is this. I had that problem too. Do you have that problem anymore? No, because somebody gave you their 2020. So what I'm giving you it now, please believe me that you're going to wish that you savored every moment and you enjoyed it, because later on, you're going to wish you did. It's not about the destination. It's really not. It's about the journey. Ralph Waldo Emerson, he was right. Now here's another one about a fresh start. Okay, ready? I love this. I swear, I don't think I could ever read this without tearing up. Every time I read it, I tear up. He wrote this to his daughter, who was in college at the time. Finish every day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense. How beautiful is that? We need to do that. Get this on a mug or something. Put it on the refrigerator. I used to have a magnet with this. I don't know where it is. On one of my moves, I lost it. There's that with a fresh start. And then this is another with a fresh start. His mercies are fresh every morning. And this is the literal verse. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness, speaking of God. So there's that. It's in Lamentations 3:22 to 23. All right, now what I thought I would do moving on with the rest of this is to talk about our Friday chicken and our Sunday, is it Sunday? Sunday setup. So I'm going to do with the Sunday setup first, I think. Okay. So this is the email that I sent out, and you get this every Sunday. And what I want you to do each Sunday is to plan your week. I used to do this regularly, like it was religious for me to do this. And I fell off somehow. And I could tell that life is not running as smoothly as it should. Now, one thing that led to me not doing it, but we'll talk about this first. So somebody remind me later if we have time to talk about the one thing that led me to not doing it anymore. And it had to do with Pam Young, the conversation we had. Okay, so This makes everything change. It really does. If you felt out of control, you will feel so in control doing this every Sunday. Things that you felt were keeping you up at night, you'll sleep soundly. It really is a fabulous thing to do. All right, so do a calendar check. Pop open your calendar app, planner, or both. It depends on what you use, okay? I know that I was really averse to using the phone as a calendar. I had to actually have somebody sit me down and teach me how to do it. Once I figured out how, I really, really love it because you can put all details in it. Do I still like a paper thing? I definitely do. I still like the paper thing. One of the reasons is because it's phones can, you could lose your stuff on your phone. All of a sudden your calendar can go blank for some reason. It happened to me recently, actually. You could lose your phone, so I like to have a calendar. Do I do all kinds of details in the paper calendar? I don't, but I have the information. Like say it was, one thing is a invitation to a party or something, a baby shower, bridal shower, wedding, something like that. I always take that invitation, hard copy, and I put it inside of my binder on the very front portion. Any kind of paper that comes in that is something I have to do now with it, or something that I'm going to need to refer to, I stick in the little pocket in the front part of my binder. So it's always there until I don't need it anymore. Inside of, and then on a calendar, I'll just write on the calendar on the paper thing. Usually I just use a wall calendar, very simple. I just write what's going on in there. This way, at a glance, I can see. Yeah, I can see as a glance. So anyway, here's my point. Do a calendar check every Sunday. Pop open your calendar app, planner, or both. If you're not using a calendar, then think about all you've got to do or you've committed to do this week and get it into your calendar. What we don't have written down, it gets lost in the sauce. It slips through the cracks. We've got to write everything down. It's how we get double booked, where we'll say yes to this one and yes to that one at the same time and the same day. Okay, and then be sure to write everything down from now on. Review all appointments for the week and plan your week accordingly. So this is kind of like a little checklist. And I did the exact same thing this Sunday. Sat down with this and I just went through so that I made sure that I did it too. Review all appointments for the week and plan your week accordingly. Add any locations needed. These are some of the things that stop us from being that person that's like, oh no, oh yeah, it's because of this. Oh, if I only put it in the calendar, if I only knew about such and such, but we knew, we just didn't write it down. We didn't pay attention. So that stops all of that from happening. So I put location, because on your calendar, if you have whatever kind of computer you have and phone you have, you can get them synced so that if you put it on your calendar on your computer, it will get on your phone, and vice versa. If you don't know how to do that, whoever it is that sold you that phone, they'll teach you. Also, libraries are an insane, beautiful, valuable source. You can go into a library and ask them if they have any little somethings that has to do with that. And that's something that I just like to throw in as a side note. If you need to get out because you aren't, the library is a wonderful resource for that. Every library has like programs and things. I just found out that they have a chair yoga at a local library of mine that I'm going to start going to. I'm so excited about it. Even sometimes you could just go in the library and just do a puzzle. A lot of libraries will have puzzles out on a table. And you could sit, somebody else might be doing it too. You could sit across them. You never have to talk to anybody, but you're not alone and you're out and you're doing something. But their programs are fabulous. So That's a little side note there. All right, so you're going to review all appointments for the week and then plan your week accordingly. One of the great things about this too is you'll stop yourself from like having to backtrack. When you do this, you could say, all right, I have an appointment on Thursday, a doctor appointment on Thursday, say, and you're going, then you say, and then another thing you had to do was you had to go to a big box store, say Costco or something. And you say, oh, wait, right next door to the doctor or on the way to that appointment is BJ's or Costco or whatever the heck, Sam's Club, whatever club it is. I'll do that day so that you're not one of those things I was talking about before. So that you're like, oh no, I should have. Oh, I could have, because you're planning. So then you could say, oh, good. On that day when I have to go there for this, because you're looking at your week, that's the day that I'll go to the store and I'll leave a little early so that I can get there. Or if you could go there afterwards, you just make sure that you go there afterwards. Okay, and then another thing that you want to do is tell anyone that you need to about your appointments, especially if they're part of them or they'll need to adjust their schedule because of it. A lot of the times when we find ourselves behind the eight ball, it's just because we haven't taken the due diligence to make sure that we don't get there, you know? And then, of course, add your inner circle meeting onto your calendar. And then there's like family updates that you might have to have. Anybody in your family have appointments? Do you take care of anybody in your family? Do you have young children? What's your situation in life? Put that in your calendar. Anybody have appointments that affect your day? Like, let's say you have somebody that comes in for physical therapy. Well, if they come in for physical therapy on, say, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you know that you really can't get on with your morning routine when that physical therapist is there, then you're going to have to maybe prepare at night as if you did a lot of your morning routine, or wake up a little bit earlier, or just adjust things that day. I know my sister had her a knee done. She had actually 2 knees replaced. And I would go over there sometimes, but I would always check, when is your physical therapist going to be there? Because I'd usually always bring my computer and I'd work there, because she was alone a lot. Because she moved into her daughter's house, who has a basement apartment. And she moved into there while she was recuperating, because she was on the 2nd floor and she couldn't get up and down the stairs. So she stayed there. She was there for, I think, 8 months. She was there. And so when she was first in bed and not able to really do much of anything, then I would go and visit, because she was alone. And she was happy to have me there. And I'd say, well, I'll bring my computer and I'll work. But, I can't really talk to you and stuff. But at least I'll be there. You'll have company. And she was so happy to have that. But I would always make sure, when is your physical therapist going to be there? What time would be best for me to get there? So that it wasn't like we're running our lives like, oh no, I should have, oh no, why did that? Oh no, that, oh no. And most of these things can be completely like alleviated, is that the right word? By just a little planning, So there's that, family updates. And then your home goals. Now, if you're here, one of the biggest things that you're going to be doing is digging into the classes. Tidy Tutor Masterclass is now part of the inner circle, and that's the foundation of it all. If it is that you say you are well-rounded with the inner circle, God forgive me, you're well into and mastered the Tidy Tutor Masterclass, but you know that there's certain things that you need to get to. Maybe you want to do one of the workshops, or there's certain things in your home that you just haven't gotten to yet. Like, all right, everything is good. My routines are great. My rooms are all tidy and everything, but that attic or that basement or that storage room or that laundry room or that office or whatever it is, it's time for me to hit that. So you would want to do that. You would want to plan that. If you're struggling with anything, say you're alumni of the master class, you are just fabulous at it. But there are certain things that you still struggle with, like you wake up with your phone and you scroll and you don't get out of bed, or you know you need to get in the shower first thing in the morning, but it hardly ever happens. Whatever it is that you struggle with, that's one of the things that you're going to put on your home goals, because this stuff doesn't happen on accident. So whether it's taking the class for the first time, taking it again seriously, jumping into not perfecting, but becoming better at something that you aren't good at, something that you want to do that you haven't done before, that's in the personal category, a room that you need to tackle, well, you're going to make the goal for that, and then you're going to make the plan. Now, inside of our workshops, I have that, and there's workbooks with them. Most of them have workbooks where we actually make a plan and we say, okay, so doing the kitchen workshop, let's just say, and then we make a plan. All right, I'm going to work in the kitchen every day at 11 a.m. till 12 a.m. or every day for 15 minutes, I'm going to get into that storage room, whatever it is that you're working on, and you put it in your plan. So this is happening now because you have your Sunday and you're looking at your week and you're putting it in. Now, don't think that, like, say you have a plan for your kitchen, right? You probably aren't going to have enough room in your planner or your calendar to get all of that in there. So have a separate section in your binder. That's what our Tidy Tutor binder is for. One of the things that you have for plans that you have, works that things that you're working on, a workshop that you're working on, something like that. And so you just have a section in it, and then you make your plan in there. I have ways that you can print out blank calendars, and then you can put it in there, hole punch it, get it in that section. There's even templates for tracking sheets where you can track what you're doing with your goal and little check boxes for you to say, here's when I'll do it. And we even have things like your target goal, your maximum goal, and your minimum goal. This way, if life throws you a curve, your target goal might have been to work for an hour, but your best friend just flew in from Japan and you're like, oh my God, I have to see her. Well, then you do your minimum goal that day or whatever came up. So this way you're not going to like forego anything. You're just going to adjust. So that's all in there. It's all at your disposal. But what do you got to do? You got to take the time, right? You got to take the time and plan. Okay. Let's see. Make note of what zone you're in, working in. Very important. What zone is next week? Sunday starts a new week. So you say, okay, what zone is it this week? All right. I'm working. This week is the bedrooms and the bathroom. Say, all right. This week is the bedrooms and the bathroom. And so you make sure that you have that in your mind. You already have it in your plan because we have zone work, but you know what zone you're in. What specific decluttering goals did you set? Block out dedicated time for these priorities, because if we make the time, we will take the time. Recommit to your daily routine and have it ready to use. Recommit to your masterclass. Like, if you're going to recommit to your daily routine, then you have to have your daily routine, right? Recommit to your masterclass habits, like do it now, say no, it goes where it goes. Don't pass it up, pick it up. Shut cabinets, closets, and doors. Like, I literally did this when I first got started. I wrote them down on 3x5 cards, and I had them everywhere because these weren't things that I did on the regular. Get up 30 minutes before you actually have to. Shower, dressing room before anything. Remind yourself about your non-negotiables, like cleaning up after dinner. It's a non-negotiable. There are people that would never dream of leaving the kitchen after dinner without cleaning up. There's people that think that is as bizarre as leaving the bathroom and not wiping your butt. Like, what? Well, I'll do that later. I don't have time now. Really? No, you're gonna wipe your ass. You're gonna. Sorry, I know it's so rude. We all go. Come on. But really, it is that serious to people. And I know I was one of those people that didn't think it was really necessary. I could do it later. That's something, that's a non-negotiable. Bathroom swish should be a non-negotiable. You do not leave the bathtub without wiping it down. You do not leave the bathroom without wiping down the vanity top, the toilet. You just don't do it. It takes under 3 minutes. Why would you not do it? Why? Okay, anyway, so there's that. In the personal category, do these things to help you enjoy the journey and to succeed. Recite out loud. I do this. This is something that is new for me, but I do it because there were things that it didn't have to do with the house. It just had to do with things that I wanted to do with my life and stuff that I wanted to accomplish that I say out loud, recite out loud. What are the things that are most important to you right now? Because if you don't do that, it's so easy to let it go. I have books sitting in a freaking, I think they're in an Aldi bag, to tell you the truth. They're in like one of those, reusable grocery bags. I just keep moving it so that I can see it. It's in my face, but I'm not doing anything with it. They need to get on Amazon. They need to be printable, that kind of thing. So I say out loud, this is fairly new for me. Recite out loud, what are the things that are most important to you? It is very important to me to get those books onto a platform where I can sell them, where I can share them. It is very important to me that I am faithful with my podcast. See, whether you're doing it or not isn't the goal here. It's remembering. And so reciting those things out loud, write these things down if you need to and read them. I'm going to have to do that because I'm still not acting on the thing. It just feels scary, overwhelming. My inner voice is screaming much louder than my desire. Okay, so we've been together for 1 hour and 5 minutes at this point. When I do the video and I edit it, it's going to be less than that because I edit out parts. Like when I went and got water, it's going to be edited out. So it's going to be less than that. But we've been together for that long, but I'm going to finish this up. So if you need to run, then of course do. Thank you for being here. Please put in the chat any kind of question or anything that you have. I'll answer it at the end. So if you can't stay for it, it'll be there for the recording. And there's that. All right. So I'm just going to wrap this up really quickly. All right. So you have a personal category that you have to plan for the week. Think about what would make you smile when looking back on this week. Remember that as you're moving ahead with your plans. So as you're moving ahead with your plans, you're going to remember what would make me smile to look back on this week. That'll help you so much. That comes along with the purpose. Why am I doing this? And it'll help you to do it. Remember to do you first, always. That'll help you so much. That comes along with the purpose. Why am I doing this? And it'll help you to do it. Remember to do you first, always. Shower or wash up, face, hair, get dressed. You do you first, always. Okay, remember to do that. Remind yourself to enjoy the journey. It's not about perfect, it's about happy, and we can choose happy. And that's that. So the rest is just the next thing I just say here is this will help you and others, because once you've got everything set up, you can hop into our community app and report your Sunday planning session that you're all set. And we've had people do that this week. I was so happy. It really made me so happy to see that was done this week. Now, just really quickly before we go, I know I'm going to look at the chat, I promise. I want to, I hope I still have it here. I wanted to look at, I do. let me find it. Our group, our community group and all of that, we've got. Remember that well, remember if you didn't know, how could you remember? I just did a recent screen recording on my phone of how to get the app on the phone. And then how to navigate the class is on there too. Because Christy told me that she tries to jump to different sections of the masterclass because she wants to see just decluttering right now because she's already taken it. And she said that all she could do on the phone app is do next. It might be the 20th video. So there is a way that all you have to do is click on the top right-hand corner and it has a drop down and you can see all of it. And that's in that video instruction. Okay, so that's there. So I'm going to share my screen again really quickly. We're not going to, well, this won't take long. And I just want to show you, this is on the computer screen, of course. Okay, so this is the community. When you're in here, the events here is where our meetings are. So you just have to click on events and the calendar comes up. And here you are. This is what we've had scheduled so far. But what happens is in here where our discussions are, where the community is, and we could talk to each other and whatnot. Right on the top, you don't see it now because our meeting is happening now. But the day of our meeting, there's like a little something here that comes up and says, it reminds you of of our meeting. So I may not, like right here, I have pinned to the top. We meet today at 2 p.m. Eastern. That isn't something I want you to count on because that requires me to make sure I remember to do that. But it isn't really necessary. I'm giving myself more work that I don't need to make. There will be, every time there's a meeting on that day, there is a little something on the top that reminds you about it. And so now the next thing next to it, you click on learning, and here's all the courses. Now, the only reason you see this, it says add course, is because I'm logged in as an admin, not as, like I'm the owner of it, not like a student. So you wouldn't see that. But here's all the courses. This is enjoying and creating relaxing. That's from last month. And you'll have the new one this month. The masterclass is here and all of our workshops, the entranceway workshop, kitchen workshop, bedroom workshop, room completion workshop, decluttering workshop, declutter like a princess workshop. This is Tidy Tutor University or Masterclass Boot Camp and the card box because we went over how to do the card box. It's all in here. Keeping housework fun and motivating. Daily routine workshop, virtual co-working sessions. That's where I'm doing things like cleaning something or folding clothes. And I also have story time in there where I'm just reading a story. So if you just kind of like want company while you're doing stuff, this is one of the things you could do. 7 steps into clutter success, August workshop going over the lesson change workshop and deer and headlight series. And I think that's all we got. We might have one more that's not in there. Now events, we have the calendar here. Members, these just show, the members of who's in here. Leaderboard, this is like you have certain levels and you get these points by participating. So this is coming soon. They just launched an ability for us to customize this. So I'll have it that when you have completed a certain something that you get points for that. Logging in on Sunday and Friday, because the Friday check-in, we didn't talk about the Friday check-in, did we? But that's another thing that we have, Friday check-in, so that you can come and just check in. Things will not get lost when we're diligent, when we regularly going. And then of course what happens, it builds momentum. So that's the leaderboard. And so that's that. I just wanted to share that with you. If you have anything else, let me see. If you have anything else that that you've signed up for, like the Christmas course has its own community. So there's another group, the Christmas course. So if you're part of the Christmas course, there it is. It will be revived. It's just going to be dormant for a while. It'll be revived again probably in July. And there's another way that you could get to the courses other than inside the group. You see the 9 dots on the top right corner. You could click on that and it says courses. See that? Courses communities. That'll take you to your courses page too. That's that. Thank you for being with me today. And I'm going to look at the comments and then we'll just close out. Okay. I hope some of the comments weren't like, we can't hear you anymore. All right, Janine, and welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being with me. Paula said hi. Mike is Paula. Darlene said, Happy New Year, Kathy. Hi, all. Debbie, my intention, this was Paula. My intention is to put a dehumidifier in my closet. Excellent. Gloria said, my intention is to wash the dishes. Fabulous. Janine, my intention is taking down the Christmas tree. I've been sick for 2 weeks. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm ready to do something and feel like a human again. God bless you. Debbie's is desk clearing. Cool. Darlene, my intention was going to be vacuuming, but I wouldn't be able to hear you. Instead, I'm going to work on dishes and laundry. Get it. Gloria said, finishing up with the dishes. New intention is to put away the canned food, etc., on the kitchen floor. And okay, then we just got thanks, Kathy. Very productive time for me. Thank you. I put the humidifier in my closet and saw some mold, so lots got pulled out. Now a huge mess. Okay, do the right thing. Put them in a container. Like you have to have one somewhere. It doesn't have to be a big mess now. Get a container. Like get some bins that you might have. And if you can't do that, if you don't have anything like that, then categorize them. Like make piles that are neat piles. It's organized chaos is what you're after because you've got a situation here, you know. So as you're working on that situation, you can make it as decently as possible. Okay. Brenda said that's hysterical, but so true. Many times I say I'll do it later. Now my mantra will be wipe your ass. It's great. Yeah. Hello. Thanks, Kathy. Very productive. Debbie said that. Good topic today. I needed to hear this. Enjoy the journey. Excellent. That's it, Janine. Thanks. Finishing up the dishes. New intention is put away the dishes. I got that already. Okay, so I think we've caught up with everybody. And so I'll sign out now. You'll have this within 24 hours. Okay. And if anybody's in here and hasn't gotten into the new platform, please do it. Email me and I'll help you through it. All right. If you've just gotten done, like payment just came out of your account, then I'll give you a 30-day free so that it'll just, make it a wash. All right. If you're ready to come out soon, then we'll just cancel and, you just get started. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Happy New Year. And I'll see you next week and I'll see you inside the community. God bless.